Alright, welcome back to 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Last time we were in the steam engine room, right? That's what it says on the screen. Alright. And, I can't remember. I'd say this is probably here to remove coal from place to place. It probably comes from over there. And then the belt carries it down the tunnel out here. So if the conveyor belt was moving, yes, the coal would almost certainly come out here. Alright. Check you out. It's a square. Hole. Nothing in here. Look at the back wall there. I can see 3 small slots. Terminals for some sort of connector, perhaps? I mean, you think we're supposed to plug something in here? Perhaps. Alright, well, let's get to plugging. And the Oh, right, I remember. June got all sickly, as she often does. The 3 sliders on the left are down, but this one is up. There are a number of lines engraved in these. I suspect we were meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down? Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose. Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be repaired somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it would respond somehow? Yes, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Alright then. Well, let's look for elsewhere. Up. Hello? Oh. One of the doors on the furnace. There's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door. Alright, let's give this sucker a twist. And shout. Twist and shout? Okay. Well, it's noisy, but it opens. And it's totally pitch black in there. Let's shove Santa in there. Why not? We should, go in here. Alright. Let's go. No objections at all. None at all. This looks just like the door we went into. Where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate. You're right, Ace. Let's do this. Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. And... bankrupt. Darn. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Gah! Haha! Okay then. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. Man. Shut up. Don't make fun of me, dude. Alright, happy Valentine's Day. Not to date this thing, but happy Valentine's Day. There's a wooden box on the end of the rope hanging from the winch. Looks like there's something on the box. Okay. Wait. Well, anyway, looks like that's the pipe. Looks like the bottom connects to the conveyor belt housing. And coal must come out of this pipe onto the conveyor belt. In other words, there must be a great deal of coal in that pipe. Alright. Let's just smack it open with this wheel I have. Pretty sure that might work. There are a whole bunch of boxes in my way. Can't get through. It supports and braces the side of the ship. It might be right above where June's resting. Okay. Can't... That's where the winch is. Yeah. Hand operating winch. The wheel it once had is now in my hand. Let's see if I can get back on. There's a couple of posts on the back of that look like they fit into the holes on the winch. No good. Those little shafts are too small for this big hole. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, to be honest. If that's the case, I'm going to throw my hot dog down the hallway. Or like a semi-truck. If that's the case, then. And wheel wasn't originally part of this winch. And that means it's a part of something else. Apparently. Probably. Catwalk. Cat can't walk. Bunch of boxes. More and more boxes. Well, the door's on the furnace. There's an A on it. Go through it. Man. Come on. No, you're not dumb. Okay. Well, we can't do much. Okay, well. Really? What? Oh, it's a different... Oh, it's a different winch. Okay, I thought that was the same winch I just had. Sweet, it's a perfect fit. Like they were made for each other. Not shake at all. Good. Should be able to turn this now. Hey, alright, perfect. This is good for Valentine's Day. Just all these innuendos. Good work, Junpei. This probably won't go up. No, it won't. Because I got one more. This will probably go up on Saturday, tomorrow, maybe Monday, whatever. We should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see? The wooden box. It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? No, I'm blind. Man, I'm like a snake here. It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? Looks like there's some sort of device on the box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn that wheel now. I'm counting on you. You're counting on me to do a simple task. Thank you, Ace. God. Oh, what's this? What happened? This wheel only turns to the left. The left? Why would it only turn to the left? The left is the best answer for every question. What's the meaning of life, left? There's this whole thing with the left VLR. It's hilarious. That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah. We can only let the rope down, which means June is going to have to get it. Interesting. I don't think that'll be a problem. We'll simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. Will you stop putting all this pressure on me, man? It's kind of weird. Unnecessary. Seriously. I believe the box has reached the floor. Yeah. He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down, The box that had only recently hung just below the catwalk now sat on the floor, and had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt. Here where June had collapsed. Junpei could see her, still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body. just crackling with sexual energy. She doesn't seem to be improving. Ace's expression was inscrutable. But he'd said what they'd all been thinking. Well, of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know. It'll take time. He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said was true. What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps. It's gotta be exhaustion. Santa's response was confident and certain. She gets dropped into some strange shed, forced to play some messed up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know? So you're saying we're all sociopaths? Yes. We're just running around this room solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs. Santa snorted in disgust. A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean like a pachybarra? Wait, capybara. Capybara. I say pachybarra. Pack rat. You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying? Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility, you know? With that, he turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him. You know, speaking of experiments, this reminds me of an experiment. Santa suddenly stopped. There was once this experiment some scientists did with rats. First, they took a squarish seed-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown. Alright, it's already getting dark. The tank has two exits, A and B. Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. Exit B, however, is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it. So what would a rat do if it was put into this situation? Which exit would the rat choose? There was a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded. B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified. Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out of the way. So after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A. I can't say that's very interesting, or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment. You're right. It isn't very interesting, yet. It is very relevant. And then Santa smacked Ace upside the head with the winch. I don't know. These scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation of rats, they took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put into the tank, who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to B. But even that wasn't the most impressive thing. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one with the same results. No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial experiment. Didn't we go over this once? I have a feeling we did. These rats were not related to the rats used in the first experiment, and had never even come in contact with them, and yet. They all easily found their way to exit A, as though they already knew. What did it mean? Are you suggesting something like telepathy? They were passing information to one another through some undetectable medium. Yeah, the morphogenetic field, right? Ace looked skeptical. Santa snorted at him. How would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know that story's true, and if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. We gotta get out of here before June passes out. Again. Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to leave the top alone. Hey, wait. That's a mistake, dude. There's something I want to ask you. Santa stopped and turned around. Why did they use that tank for the experiment? Huh? Well, I mean, it seems like you can conduct the same experiment without water. They could have just used a dry box, you know. If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, live firing range. Put some bait bites in me or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown? Santa gave a grim part of the laugh. You know the word emergency comes from the same root as the word as emerge. You ever think about that? Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sow or to come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration. Inspiration. Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses, and pulls up whatever you need. So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Like a persona, now. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge. And then they traveled back into a past self, and with the knowledge of what had happened to them, they survived. Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching and his stomach felt strange. Weak stomach. Piece of crap. Oh, that. Okay. That's just annoying. Maybe this hole is where the control panel goes. Well, there's only one way to find out. In you go. Shove it right in there. Dude, you did it. Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? Sudden, like, freaking realization that I'm stupid or something, Ace? Is that why you have that look on your face? Huh? You think I'm stupid? I might not have found the box right away because I'm blind. Gonna make fun of me for it? Excuse you. Gosh. The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do that. Pushing! What are you pushing? Oh, you're pushing the button. What do you make a big deal of it? Sweet! All sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. Oh! Yes, I think I just heard something turn on. Myself. Oh. What's that? What happened? Junpei, look. The conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? I forgot what that thing was. Well, I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal in the belt, though. It looks like a bunch of it got dumped off the end of the belt into that wooden box. Where we found the control panel. Coal. Coal, huh? Let's take it. Since the belt started moving, it's transported quite a bit of coal. It all drops off the left end of the conveyor belt, right into the wooden box. Hey Santa, are you gonna give out all the coal to all of the little girls and boys? Oh, that should so be a joke. That should so be a joke. Is it? It better be. Where do we take this box of coal? Oh man, Junpei, I can't believe I missed something so important. What's so important? Look at those stairs. Look at them carefully. That gap. That height. That angle. It's perfect. Are you getting your jollies off? Perfect. Perfect for what? Whatever. Just bring Clover here right now. Tell her she needs to... Santa, you need to get yourself some coal. That's... Oh. I'm dumb. Maybe if we can get some coal in here and set it on fire. Okay, let's do this. Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throw in coal into a cold furnace do anything? Ah, well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. This furnace is enormous, so we're going to need a whole lot of more coal than this. Very well then. If the three of us work together, then we should manage to fill it much faster. I want to help too. Can't. You're sick. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that? Yes. Yeah, right. You look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you better rest some more, alright? But no arguing. You need your rest. So you just stay here and we'll handle this. Let the men do the work. Yeah, that's very misogynistic of me. Yeah. Okay, I understand. Alright, time for some manly work exactly. See, Junpei agrees with me. Let's get this coal into those furnaces. Feel so pumped. Man, this is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright. You guys like saying alright a lot. Now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? Okay. Maybe that panel. You. Hey! Huh? I wonder why these lights are like this. When I went by earlier, I think the two columns on the right were lit up red. You're right. But it seems they're all yellow now. I would imagine that indicates something is ready to activate, wouldn't you? Is this? I think it might be. It probably is. That's what I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. That means that if we move that thing down... Alright, let's do it. Here we go! Hey Junpei, Ace, look at this. There's big gears turning under the boiler here. Bronze, silver, and gold. Oh hey. The gears. They're spinning. What are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. Gear. Gear. Oh god. Golden disc. Golden disc. Then we go and find the bronze disc. Now we find the silver disc. Okay then. So, what do we do with these? Item. Gold disc first. The gold disc. It has a number of lines engraved on it. I can make out 3 colors: red, blue, and black. I wonder what they mean. Ask why. Oh, hey. Looks like this thing unlocks the door. There's a depression here that looks like it's the outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. Maybe if we put those 3 discs we found into this thing. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happening. Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places. Perhaps you have them facing the wrong directions. Perhaps you should rotate the discs to make some of the lines connect to one another. Well, no harm in trying. Instructions. Okay. That is some Resident Evil bullcrap. The red lines on these discs. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these. It's beautiful. We found it. Yes! The door's open. Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Ace seemed to share his excitement. Alright, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on this door. Santa snorted. Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We just open it again. Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all 3 of us go and collect June, then? Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it. He still seems irritated by something. However, he sat down on the stairs petulantly. So you are only interested in being contrary. He sighed with the air of a long-suffering parent. All right, I'll go get June. I'll be right back. He gave a quick nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. Doesn't really sound like a dash, but whatever. Before long, he was back in the first floor, next to the conveyor belt, June. As he drew closer, she stood up, slowly. Are you okay? Are you okay? He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant. A little bit like Terry Bogard. But there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice. Why is she blushing? Yes, I'm fine now. Sorry I made you worry. June blushed. He wasn't sure if she was embarrassed or still feverish. It was in the air tonight. Oh, just to make sure. He reached out and put his hand against her forehead. Good. You're feeling a lot better. She was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but still hasn't down to what seemed normal to him. Are you sure you're all right? He had to be sure. June gave him a look. Oh, you're such a warrior, Junpei. Oops. I mean, warrior. He's a warrior! June giggled. He wasn't sure if she'd just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she really wasn't feeling much better. Apparently you don't know that people can act much better than you can probably give them credit for. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead. Let's go. Go where? Oh, right, I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so... Great! Let's go. June clasped her hands and nodded urgently. As they walked back toward the exit, Junpei noticed Santa sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him. What are you looking at? Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet. It's a photo. It's my sister. Sister? Santa, you've got a sister? Santa simply nodded. Yeah. Kid was as cute as Button. June cocked her head, confused. She was only about an inch tall then. Santa glared at her. Sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch. Santa didn't smile or laugh. He simply turned back to his picture and spoke. That was their Santa Claus. His sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either. We didn't have parents. They bought it in an accident when we were still kids. So I didn't be like her dad. And that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year. On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the presents next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look! Look! Santa left me a present! Santa got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad that he got the letter I wrote. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that does exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter, and stamp it, and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in our mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she'd figure out they'd be sent back, then sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. Took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year. Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound or didn't care. Santa kept talking. But one year her letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am. Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. But what happened? June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort. She died. She was killed 9 years ago. There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale. All right, let's go. Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them two at a time. Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say. Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving. Come on. Santa's voice echoed across the room from above them. They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired. The door had shut, but it wasn't cause for concern. Junpei quickly solved the disc puzzle a second time, and the door opened once again. In single file, they walked through. After walking for nearly 15 feet, they found themselves in front of a metal door. It opened easily enough and they passed through it as well. A new room stretched out before them. More boxes. Great. Is this a warehouse? No, I believe this is the cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight. There are wooden crates everywhere. Wonder how old they are. Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through their momentary trance. Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going. Whoa, over there. Hey, look. Whoa. This is an awesome place. Woo. Man, I'm getting tired of seeking a way out. Let's just bash a hole into this place and swim up.